The silver dragon roars, and suddenly the sky darkens as it summons granite rain. Stones of all sizes start falling from above, crashing down in a storm of chaos. It's impressive, really. It looks like something out of a disaster movie, but for Su Yang it's no problem at all. With a swift whoosh, he dashes through the rain of stones as if they're nothing more than raindrops. His speed is too much for them to even touch. As he moves, he can't help but think that the silver dragon's stance looks impressive. A big show of power, really, but Su Yang knows better. It's all just for dramatic effect. He sees right through it. The dragon's portal continues to rain granite, but Su Yang's aura is so powerful that it shatters the falling stones before they even get close. He stands in the middle of the chaos, untouched. As he feels the rush of energy, Su Yang wonders to himself if this is due to his heaven-defying resilience. His health has gone through the roof recently, and these attacks barely even scratch him. The silver dragon roars again, unleashing its dragon impact double strike, packing the force of 27,000 tons. It's a massive attack, powerful enough to flatten mountains and obliterate anything in its path. But Su Yang stops the strike with a single hand, barely even flinching. To him, it's no more challenging than holding down a chicken. Su Yang leaps into the air, rising to meet the silver dragon face to face. He raises his sword, and with a loud bang, he strikes the dragon with all his might. The silver dragon is sent crashing to the ground, its massive body hitting with a thunderous boom. No time for drama or second chances, though. Su Yang charges in again, his sword slicing the dragon clean in two. It's a quick and efficient finish. The dragon's howl fades as its body splits and hits the ground in a messy, lifeless heap. Just as the beast falls, a system notification flashes up. Devourer effect triggered. Your Dragonbone Greatsword has plundered 10% of the silver dragon's attributes. Moments later, another pops up. All attributes of his Dragonbone Greatsword have been multiplied significantly. Su Yang takes a moment to reflect. The Silver Dragon clan is known for their magical prowess, especially their spirit attribute. Too bad this one didn't even get a chance to show it off before Su Yang cut it down. He notices that his Dragonbone Greatsword now has a silver lining running through the middle. It's as if the sword has absorbed the silver dragon's essence. He wonders if this means other types of dragons will leave their own marks on the blade. What would happen if the marks fill up completely? It's an intriguing thought, and the possibilities seem endless. Turning to his great black dragon, Athos, Su Yang gestures for him to begin feasting on the remains of the silver dragon. Athos eagerly complies, devouring the dragon's carcass with gusto. Su Yang watches for a moment, then reflects on his recent experience. Leveling up no longer holds the excitement it once did. The experience gained from this kill barely registers in comparison to his past feats. After the explosive power of Wrath, this feels like a walk in the park. And as for the platinum and diamond tier equipment, they become almost useless, nothing more than a way to earn some extra gold. Su Yang considers the emptiness he feels. He wonders if this is the after effects of ascension, reaching the peak only to find that there's nothing left to challenge him. It's a strange feeling, almost like standing at the top of the world, only to realize the view isn't quite as grand as expected. Su Yang glances at the screen and notices something interesting. After his great black dragon devours the silver dragon, its attributes have increased by about 10%. He sighs, thinking how nice it would be if he could devour attributes too. But alas, he's not quite that lucky. Then something clicks in his mind. A realization hits him like a lightning bolt. He remembers the royal offering traits of gluttony and wrath. Both of these abilities can plunder attributes and health, transferring the power directly to him. The problem is, these traits are dormant in the abyss, unable to be triggered unless a challenger appears. But what if they could leave the abyss? What if they could descend into the real world? Would they be able to actively plunder, to collect royal offerings and grow stronger? The thought excites him. If that were possible, could he keep plundering attributes endlessly, growing stronger with every victory? The idea of infinite growth is tempting, almost too good to be true. He reflects further. If he could summon the King of Original Sin into the real world, have it plunder offerings on his behalf and collect all 7 weapons of the Reverse Sin series, then he would be the key figure capable of soloing world-class bosses. Not just any bosses, but the ones that define entire expansions. It would make him unstoppable, the ultimate force to be reckoned with. If that's the case, then offering him royal attributes would be not just natural, but an honor. A sinister aura begins to swirl around Su Yang as his thoughts darken. He reflects that, in the grand scheme of things, dying in this world isn't a problem, resurrection is easy. Killing a few people is just a matter of resource utilization, a necessary step in the grand game. He chuckles at the thought, but quickly halts himself, realizing that he's let his imagination run too far. His mind shifts back to the real problems at hand. First, how does he actually bring the King of Original Sin out of the abyss? Without solving that, everything else is just empty speculation. And second, what about the risk of top-tier experts hunting it down? If it dies before accumulating enough resources, Su Yang would suffer a massive loss. It's not just about power, it's about strategy and survival. He announced to himself, deciding that these are problems for later. For now, it's time to move forward. The next dragon's secret realm awaits. Just as he prepares to head off, a notification flashes on his screen. It's from the World Channel, announcing a shocking event. The Red Dragon Hall in the Dragon Rift secret realm has been subdued by Asui Makiko. Su Yang's eyes widen in surprise. He stares at the notification, momentarily stunned. This is no small feat. Meanwhile, in the Dragon Rift secret realm, Asui Makiko stands triumphantly, tapping the head of her newly subdued red dragon. Her companions are practically jumping for joy, more excited than she is. Everyone seems delighted with the victory. Her knight in red armor beams with pride. Sakura Nation now has a dragon of its own, and you can already picture the patriarch's reaction. Surely they will be rewarded generously for this accomplishment. The lady standing beside them turns to Elder Lei, asking what he thinks of the situation. Elder Lei, his eyes sharp, replies, "Not long ago was Su Yang who was in the spotlight. Now even Miss Makiko from the Asui family has subdued a red dragon. That's truly impressive." Elder Lei turns to Asui Makiko, who is now seated confidently on the back of the red dragon. He gives her a nod of approval, acknowledging her achievement. He tells her that their next step will be to escort her to Longqing City and then back to Sakura Nation. Asui Makiko smiles, expressing her gratitude for the support. However, her mind is preoccupied with another thought. She had hoped to meet Su Yang, the one who had tamed the black dragon. There had been something about his presence that intrigued her. But now that he's joined the association, she knows it won't be long before their paths cross again. She's certain they will have more opportunities to interact in the future. Meanwhile, from a distance, the arrogant princess Lu Linger watches Asui Makiko flying on her red dragon. A wave of disappointment washes over her. She can't understand how Asui Makiko managed to surpass her. Su Yang had already been a formidable figure, but for someone like Makiko to outpace her is a blow to her pride. Her eyes fill with tears as frustration boils inside her, and she begins to cry, unable to control the emotion. Back in the elite chat room, the news spreads quickly. Messages of congratulations flood the screen as people express their excitement over the fact that Asui Makiko is the third person to have subdued a dragon. The community buzzes with anticipation. Things are definitely changing and the power dynamics are shifting. Lu Linger, still kneeling in her private space, reads the messages flooding the chat. Her tears continue to fall and she can barely hold herself together as she struggles to come to terms with the fact that everyone is now focused on Asui Makiko. Her sense of defeat is overwhelming, and she cries bitterly, consumed by jealousy and frustration. Her tears fall freely as she questions her worth. In that moment, she feels completely overshadowed, as if her achievements are meaningless compared to the others. Her followers try to console her, offering words of encouragement, but it's no use. Her heart is too heavy, her pride too wounded. The more they speak, the less it seems to help. She is lost in her own frustration, unable to find solace in their attempts to ease her. Meanwhile, Su Yang takes a moment to reflect on the situation. He hadn't expected Asui Makiko to act so quickly, and her success has thrown a wrench into his plans. This new development changes everything. Not only has she added another competitor to the mix, but her actions have raised the stakes. Now there are even more powerful players to account for. He realizes that with only a few days left before the Dragon Spirit's secret realm reopens, time is running out. He can't afford to sit idle, not when there are so many variables at play. There's no time to dwell on what others are doing. He needs to shift his focus and prepare for what's next. The race is far from over, and every moment counts. I hope that you liked today's video, and if you did, hit that like button, as today's like goal is 1,500 likes. Comment next part down below to see what happens next. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.